Secret Invasion Episode 3 is here, and for an episode that's mostly in the middle for the season, I thought some more epic stuff was going to happen, some probably big shocking reveals. However, maybe they're saving that for next episode because they did have a couple things that are going to lead into some interesting plot points going forward. So let's jump into my breakdown and review for Secret Invasion Episode 3. Welcome to NonStopAntonio, where I talk about everything nerdy. I love Marvel, DC, and anime, and if you do too, I hope you enjoy this video. First off, the episode starts off with the Skrulls infiltrating the British army so that they can go in the submarine and cause World War III. However, this is where things start to kind of go downhill, because Beto, who is the guy that came in episode 1, that found a new home with Gaia at their refuge, is questioning everything. And I think this is going to be a trend throughout the season where we're going to have Skrulls questioning what Gromvik's plans are, because some of these guys just want homes. They just want to live somewhere nice and peacefully and be accepted. They don't really want to cause mass destruction to another race. So I think this is where we're starting to get into like the line where we're going to have Skrulls betraying their own because they don't want to destroy the world. Plus, we have the creation of the Super Skrulls being teased in the very beginning of this episode to later be revealed that it's already happened. But we'll talk about that when we get to it, because we flash back to New York in 1998 with Nick Fury meeting Vara, who turns out is his wife, and he knows she's been a Skrull this entire time. I did see some theories going around where people thought that Nick Fury did not know his wife was a Skrull. Come on, it's Nick Fury. He knows his wife is a Skrull. But she passes him some information on Dreykov, which is the villain from Black Widow. So I thought that was a cool little MCU tie there. And I like how it goes to present day, where it references yet again, Nick had just left Earth after the blip. His wife talked about how she mourned him in the snap because she never got snapped. It's seeming like a lot of the Skrulls didn't get snapped during this. So they probably blame Nick Fury even though he was snapped and disappeared. She's upset that Nick Fury left. Once again, I'm still trying to figure out why he left everyone in his life. You'd think this man would probably take his wife with him, but after the blip, they keep kind of pushing that Nick Fury has changed a little bit, and he's dealing with the trauma of not being able to plan for everything happening, having the world go to shit while he was gone. And I like how even Nick Fury's distrust shows that he doesn't trust every Skrull anymore, because he even questions her about Gromvik, which is later revealed that she's been in contact with him. But I got a theory for that we'll talk about at the end of the video. And then we had Talos meeting with Gromvik, which is a very interesting scene because it showed that everyone following Gromvik around is a Skrull. So he always has his army with him to kind of watch over him, kind of like a secret service. They did know he was meeting with Talos, so they had to be prepared for anything, because Talos can kind of be a loose cannon sometimes, especially when you mention Gaia. But I love how Talos warns Gromvik, if you back a human into a corner, they will fight back. Humans do not take threats very lightly, and they will come back tenfold, kind of showing that even though humans do fight each other all the time, they do not take threats to their population kindly, and they will fight back. So trying to say, don't underestimate the humans because you never know what's going to happen. And then you have Talos losing his shit when Gromvik mentioned Gaia and stabbing him in the hand, and then looking like he's gonna snap his neck, which right there I'm like, holy shit, dude, you got all these other Skrulls around you. Talos does not give a shit. He's just not letting his daughter be talked down to. And I love the fact that right after he leaves, we see that Gromvik has already done the Super Skrull experimentations on himself, and he now has powers because the extremist in him heals his hand. So I think this means that he is the first Super Skrull, which is pretty cool. But also at the same time, I'm kind of wondering if they're going to be having him use all the powers at once rather than one after another, just to show how strong he really is, because now he's got enhanced strength because of the Frost Beast and Obsidian, so something's got to be going on there, and I don't know how they're going to beat him down if they don't have someone just as powerful. Also, last week someone pointed out that these powers are very similar to the Fantastic Four Super Skrull, which I thought was really cool, because in the comics, I believe the first Super Skrull was using the Fantastic Four powers. So it had the strengths of the Thing, it had the Mr. Fantastic's elasticity, Invisible Woman's invisibility, and Human Torch's fire. So they are kind of doing this in this, where Groot is the elasticity, Obsidian and Frostbeat is the strength, fire is the extremist, and the only thing that we really don't have is Invisible Woman's powers. So I wonder if they have something that we haven't seen yet to make it a big reveal. But they're only using this too because we don't actually have those characters in the Marvel universe yet, so they can't use them as of right now anyways. The one thing that was really good about this episode too is they really showed how Nick Fury is at his weakest, because he goes to Talos for help and tells him what to do, but Talos is like, I'm not going to help you unless you ask for it. Nick Fury saying that he needs his help and he's useless without Talos, and that's something Nick Fury would never do. So you can really see where he's at in his life right now, because he needs this help. Usually he wouldn't need it, and usually he doesn't ask. It just happens. So it's kind of a change for him, and him having to overcome everything that's been going on in his life. I also thought it was cool that Sonia found out that Nick Fury had been spying on her and gave her little owl an eye patch and called it Nick Fury. Just a little fun scene where we also find out that she also knows that she is a Skrull infiltrating her organization because they knew the safe house she was at when she was torturing the Skrull last week. So the way they're doing this is very interesting, showing that the Skrulls are everywhere, but also showing that the people who are good spies are noticing it. They even point out that Nick Fury's rise to power and where he is today is because of the Skrulls. They were always his secret weapon in the shadows, getting him information where if he didn't have those, he may have not gotten as high as he is today. But I like how they showed that the captain for the Neptune, that they were trying to stop them from literally launching the missiles at the plane with the UN on it. All the security personnel were Skrulls. Everyone in that house was a Skrull except for the son, I believe, which I thought was really interesting how Talos called Fury to come into the house. Fury comes in and with the guy's son and says, "No one calls me Nick," pointing out that last week Roadie called him Nick multiple times. It's leading more and more that Roadie is going to end up being a Skrull because no one calls Fury Nick. I also like how Talos stopped Fury from hurting the captain right there and then. He didn't want another Skrull to really be tortured in front of him. However, as soon as the dude brings up Gaia, he just shoots him. Bang. I'm like, okay, cool. Talos's anger is going to be something that gets the better of him during this season, where he cannot control himself when it comes to his daughter, and he's probably going to cause some kind of shit going down because someone's going to mention Gaia. He's going to go and attack them. Either he's going to get hurt or someone else is, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see what's going on. However, in this, he did turn his daughter into the double crosser that she is, because he calls her, which that communication gets tracked in their base, and then she gets the information for him. So we see all the high-ranking officials that we've seen so far in the Skrull Council tied up in those machines, and then Gaia runs the hell out of there because now she is a traitor. They know she's a traitor and she needs to escape, which just leads to a big shocking moment, which is a huge misdirect. Because when Gaia runs away, Gromvik sees her, stops her, and shoots her. But before she goes down, she says, "Are you the leader of the Skrulls or our worst enemy?" Which is where I think some interesting stuff's going to be happening. First of all, Gaia's not going to die. I feel like Emilia Clarke is way too big of an actress for them just to kill her right there and then, unless there's some like Skrulls pretending to be Skrulls going on there. However, I think if she ends up dying, or if people find out that Gromvik shot her, because of who she is in the Skrull society and how they feel about her, they're definitely going to be thinking about Gromvik a little bit more and thinking about his plan, being like, do we really want to take down the human race? Do we really want to work with this guy who's willing to shoot our own people? Because Gromvik just killed someone who's highly trusted in the Skrull community, and a lot of the people like her because she's like their face when they come in. She greets them, she gives them the home, and I think that's going to cause a lot of possibly maybe mutiny within that society. Plus with other characters, I think he's going to end up start questioning, and he's going to have a lot of paranoia going on within him, where this might be Gromvik's downfall, where he's starting not to trust people around him. Who knows if they're working with the enemy? Are they actually on his side? Are they going to stop him? Because even Beto kind of questions everything they're doing. He just wanted a home. He didn't really want to cause this huge revolution. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to go on there and who else Gromvik might turn against because he thinks they're his enemy. And then we catch up with Vara, who seems to be being watched by all these Skrulls as she walks her way to her safety deposit box, and we find out that she's been in contact with Gromvik. Where again, I think this is yet another misdirect because she might have been in contact with him. The way she went to get her gun makes it feel like maybe she's worried about Gromvik coming after her because Nick Fury's back, and a couple other things along those lines.
Editor Antonio here. I'm definitely not shooting this in my car at work because I forgot to put this in the video this morning when I recorded it, but the voice that Vara is talking to at the very end of the episode is Roadie. So it's confirming that Roadie is a Skrull and has been on Gromvik's side this entire time. Now the question is it going to be Roadie like realistically recently, or is it going to be like literally the entire time from Iron Man all the way till now? I'm having a feeling it probably got grabbed around Endgame time or after Endgame, because I feel like his character when he was with the team definitely was just Roadie, but I guess we'll learn soon enough to find out if he's actually a Skrull or not.
But let me know, what did you think of that episode? And do you have any theories about what's going on? I do have something I want to talk about that is spoilers for the future episodes that kind of gets rid of some of the shocking reveals during this one. So if you don't want to see that, thanks for watching this video and I'll talk to you later. But if you want to talk about those spoilers, in the trailer we did see Gaia and Vara together, which means Gaia's not dead and Vara's on the good side. Because in the trailer they were together looking like they're in a standoff of some sort. So Gaia's not dead and Vara's on the right side, and I'm curious to see what episode that's going to take place in, because obviously next episode we're going to find out what's going on with her and Gaia. Gaia's not going to be dead and she's not going to be a traitor. They kind of gave it away in their trailers. Kind of a dumb move on their part if they wanted to have this big shocking move. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all my Secret Invasion content as well as everything else Marvel. I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know if you have any theories about what's been going on. Thanks for watching and I'll talk to you later.